All right, I'm Gab Marcotti, and I'm here with Mark Ogden. Just to review, we were both a part of this pretty extraordinary UEFA press conference, Augie, where the words liars, snakes, super person, bizarrely,
Narcissists.
narcissist, phantomic.
But the backdrop to this remarkable press conference was the threat to break away from the Champions League by 12 to 15 super clubs, the European Super League. So, Ceferin was certainly on the front foot. It was an incredible press conference, and he had two things to do. He could either cave in and accept that UEFA were going to get beaten by the big clubs, or take them on. And it was just he's declared war on the super clubs because his language is so strong, so personal, so vengeful. He said that this is like a spit in the face of football lovers. There is no going back from this. Both sides have got their positions extremely firmly entrenched now. So, what happens next?
Just to explain this, Agnelli is a member of UEFA's executive committee. Ed Woodward, I think, was on the competitions committee. Agnelli is also the president of the European Clubs Association, representing the clubs. They have very long and difficult negotiations to get to this new format. He said that, on Thursday, he got a call from Ed Woodward, who told him that everything was fine, that he loved the new format. On Friday, Andrea Agnelli and the ECA, they voted on it. On Saturday, he spoke to Agnelli, and Agnelli said, yeah, everything's fine. Oh, wait, let me call you back in an hour. And then Agnelli turns his phone off and ghosts him. And then on Sunday, this comes out. I know, we often speak of these administrators as bureaucrats and whatever else, but this is just extraordinary drama. Ceferin's a guy who, he's got a black belt in karate. He really felt like somebody who had been, and he said it's not personal, except with Agnelli, because they've had a long relationship. Yeah. But he really felt like somebody who had been personally humiliated and was just ready to unleash the hounds of hell.
I thought like I was watching an episode of The Sopranos. It was just incredible emotion, but I thought that Ceferin kept it together very well. He was asked if he was angry, and he said, I was angry as I would be if I wasn't involved in this. But then he said, I'm actually quite calm, and he looked quite calm, and he looked very measured, and he delivered some very big warnings to the breakaway clubs, suggesting that they could be banned from European competition much quicker than we expected. That players, as we know, wouldn't be able to play in World Cups and major tournaments, international tournaments. The things he's put out there are, I just find it impossible that the two sides can reconcile at some point, because he was extremely personal, like I say, about Woodward and Agnelli, and basically accused them of being liars and frauds. We talk about the snakes and the narcissists, which he talked about. He and Agnelli have got a long personal relationship going back years. These aren't just business associates; they were friends. So I'd imagine that friendship is over right now, and who knows what will happen. I'm just trying to assess the fallout from this. And I think we're both at a loss to know which way it goes from here, because some side is going to have to back down in a big way and lose face very quickly. I mean, let's talk from the Premier League point of view. There's no way that the Premier League business model will survive in its current form if the big six, so-called big six, are kicked out, because the TV deal for the Premier League would just shrink. It would become like the EFL with knobs on. It wouldn't be. Who would want to? With all due respect to the clubs that would be left in the Premier League, it wouldn't be the same sort of selling point as it would be with the big six in it.
You're making an argument about leverage here, Augie, right? So you're saying that in reality they can threaten to have the Premier League kick them out. In practice, though, the Premier League couldn't survive without them.
Absolutely.
I would dispute that. Obviously, long-term, the Premier League couldn't survive in current incarnation without them. But I was talking about this with a colleague last night. If the Premier League kicks them out, even just for a year, it's going to hurt the Premier League. Obviously, attendances might go down a little bit. Broadcasters may ask for a rebate, although even then, there's always wiggle room in negotiation with rebates because the TV deals are signed. But it would hurt the clubs immensely more. It would hurt Manchester United. They would lose 19 home dates at Old Trafford and all the match day income. So, yeah, it would hurt the Premier League long term, but short term, it would hurt the clubs a lot more. And right now, some of these clubs, not United, are really hurting for cash in a big, big way. So I'm not sure about this idea that, it's unconscionable that they be kicked out. And they wouldn't have enough time to go and organize their own competition. I mean, heck, even if you kick them out of next year's Champions League, that alone, that would be hugely, hugely damaging to these clubs, because they wouldn't have time to organize a proper competition for 2021, 22.
Yeah, I mean, I was told, and I was told about this yesterday, I was told that 2023 was when they look at the start. That's 2 years from now. We've got a World Cup before then, which could be decimated by the lack of players. So there's a lot of water to flow under the bridge before we actually get to where they want to be. So I just feel that with so many American owners involved, high-profile American owners, that they are prepared for the nuclear option, which would be to be kicked out or to withdraw, because they've seen how a closed-shop model works in the NFL, the NBA. They know how to make it work, and they know that if this takes off, a closed model with 15 permanent members, that if you're one of those 15 permanent members, your team, your franchise goes through the roof in terms of value. And then, I've mentioned this today on Twitter, and it's only half joking that you can see in 10 years' time what happens if they say that we don't need 2 teams in Manchester, we don't need 3 in London, we haven't got one in Moscow, we haven't got one in Istanbul. Let's move Arsenal to Istanbul. Stan Kroenke's done it in the US with the Rams. He's taken them from St. Louis to LA. Moscow, a lot of money in Russia, huge money in Moscow. Why can't Moscow, a massive city, have one of Manchester's clubs? These are the things that could develop down the road if we're not careful, and who knows what will come out of it.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.